Okay, I am going to turn this volume down. I'm back. I had computer issues. I had a WinZip program in my computer that hijacked my computer, and I could not access my files. It was like a real kind of hack thing where someone took over. So my son-in-law, we did something where he could remotely operate my computer from Virginia, and he spent a few hours and was able to get my computer back for me. In the meantime, I bought a new computer with a touch screen, which I since returned because it was a touch screen and it was a smaller computer, a smaller screen, and at my age, smaller isn't going to work. So I'm back to my HP, my original 10-year-old Intel, and I'm back to being able to process and edit the videos. Okay, so after reading just a couple of comments about greasing the motor and this and that, I'm going to do a couple things here. Number one is the plug on the bearing assembly or housing. I removed it. Now the one under the pulley I can't get to, it's stripped out, blah blah blah. So what I did was remove the Zerk fitting, and I haven't really cleaned that surface yet, but my intention is to clean those surfaces around there and run the machine and see if it wants to spit out any excess grease. And I think that's what people have been trying to get me to do. Okay, I've removed the plug from the bearing housing on this end of the engine motor, and I can't access the other side. So what I did is I pulled the Zerk fitting off of this side to allow, you know, if it wants to push out some grease, there's somewhere to go. I got a temperature of 60 degrees. The machine body is at 59 degrees. The motor housing here, 58.5, 60, 59.5. So we're just under 60 degrees on the motor. I'm going to check this shaft back here, the spinning shaft, where it goes into the clutch. We are at 60 degrees. We're at 60 degrees here. Well, actually we're at 63 degrees now. 62. Let's just go by the housing here. So there's 64 degrees. Let's see if I can get this into the motor. So I got some pig mat laying down there. And see there, the Zerk fitting is gone, and that is open. So we're gonna We're going to let that run for a while and monitor the temperature. And also monitor whether or not we're getting anything coming out of those two fixtures. And there we are. I'm kind of wondering if I should replace the belts. Let me give you guys a look at the belts. They're a little flappy. So I'm thinking I want to let this thing run for about an hour at least. So we'll bring you back when that kind of time elapses and see how that's going. And then maybe we'll do something tonight with the drawbar. That was about 80 thousandths. It's a beautiful. I'm just going for chip color here. And you want to talk about finish. It's a beautiful finish as well. Okay, I want to run my magnet over this real quick. Just where I'm standing at. I was wearing a polypropylene shirt here earlier, and the chips just, well, polypropylene is basically plastic clothing, and the chips just stick to you and melt your clothes. So here we go, and here's a little earlier session, a little different color. All right, let's throw that chip in the chip bin. Okay, now we're gonna do we're gonna face off, and I want to face off about. I'm gonna call this. Excuse me. I'm gonna call this up here against here 0. It's actually not 0. So I'm going to. Going to advance 30 thousandths of an inch for a parting. Of course, what I meant to say was 30 thousandths facing. So I'm kind of curious. I want to try 40 thousandths now. So 30 to 70 is 40. Oh, I'm going the wrong direction. Turning the wrong thing. Okay, so there's start here at 0 again, and let's go to 50 thousandths. I think this is telling me that 50 thousandths is too much. So let's clean that thing off. Okay, now we're going to do a more reasonable 20 thousandths. Okay, we're going to do 20 thousandths without oil. Okay, now I want to do 100 thousandths. course, there at the end we were doing much more than 100 thou, but I'm able to lay my hand and hold it there. The heat's leaving in the chips apparently. Well, let's pause this and move on to another operation. Okay, it's just doing a little fiddling around, waiting to see if I can get any excess grease to come out of this bearing housing. So far nothing's come up on the Zerk fitting side, which I kind of didn't expect. That's a long journey. But the downhill side, I've got nothing. And let's check the temperature. I know it's a lot warmer than we started. Of course, the machine was pretty cold too. I got 90 degrees on that spindle. Let me compare that to the phase converter. The phase converter spindle air hub is 86. So 87, 89. We'll call 90 our high. And I think as long as that number isn't growing, I think that's probably considered 90 a normal operating temperature. Gee, it's fun to see the machine can really dig into this metal. This was no lightweight stuff. Let me pull it off here, see if okay, that was a piece of 1045. Yeah. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun to cut.